Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. I had a spare couple minutes and was just sitting here working on some stuff, so I decided, why not? We'll stream the CRS28 mission to the International Space Station. Good morning, Shenny. So that's where we're at. Let me get it up. We're at T-minus 27 minutes and 12 seconds. This rocket has actually been scrubbed 3 times, so hopefully today is lucky to get us off the pad. So we're over here at I forgot. We're over here someplace. So they're talking about it. I'm not going to steal his commentary. However, he has some pretty good images. So we have a cargo Dragon on top of a Falcon 9. So it's a pretty standard launch. It's gonna. I'm only on YouTube because I just went quick. But hello, good morning, and Dog Mama, good morning, hello. So we're launching from Kennedy Space Center in beautiful sunny Florida. This is, do we know the cargo today? I can certainly look it up. Some of it's going to be classified, but let's see. So CRS stands for Commercial Resupply Service. I know that much. And it goes to the International Space Station. They're going to be using Cargo Dragon or C208. Let's see if it tells us what the payload is here. Guess I can share this. SpaceX plans to reuse Cargo Dragons up to 5 times. The Cargo Dragon will launch without Super Draco abort engines, without seats, cockpit controls, and life support system required to sustain astronauts in space. Hey, what's up, Greedy? So it's basically just a tin can. Your life support, your cockpit controls, all the sensors and screens are not going to be there. You're not going to have the seats, and you don't need the Super Dracos because there's no humans on board. So if anything happens, it doesn't matter. So well, always pick rockets. Rockets are so incredible. Always pick rockets. You're in the right place. Just lay back, stay a while. So basically, this is Dragon 208. So it's the 8th flight of 2. They're not incredibly creative with their numbering system, but less in refurbish time, shorter time between flights. Because although SpaceX is reusable, there is a massive refurbishing process that goes on. Ooh, that's a beautiful shot of the. Look at that. Including there's not a ton of replacement, but there's definitely refurbishing that goes on, even with this Falcon 9 rocket. And we can see the frost ring. Damn it! Here we go. This is perfect. It's almost like Spaceflight Now is listening to us and giving us information. Hey, no worries, man. Nope. Completely autonomous. Actually, the human capsules are completely autonomous as well. The humans just have backup override. That's nice. What's up, Cheesy? What's up, Scad? Good morning. Yes. So total cargo is 7,284 pounds, or 3,300 kilos. So the pressurized portion with packaging is 4,330, or 1,964 kilos. So that's pressurized. So it's not exposed as much to the vacuum of space. However, it's not. So it's just basically a sealed container. The unpressurized payload's 2,954 pounds, or 1,340 kilos. That's unpressurized. It's just sitting there in the vacuum of space, exposed to the elements and everything. So this is how it breaks down. Thank you. Crew supplies. So these are. Hey, what's up, AP? These are supplies to sustain people on the International Space Station. So they're food, it's water, it's different, comforts that we would, if you go on a shopping trip, that's probably what's in the crew supplies. Some candy, all kinds of different things, just things to make it more comfortable. Science investigations, 586 pounds of cargo. Equipment for spacewalk. So this is like tools and things to repair. That's awesome. Yeah, this one's been delayed a couple times, so I hope we see it fly today. Vehicle hardware, 1,082 pounds, or 9 kilos, and computer resources, 9 pounds, or 4 kilos. So that's kind of a breakdown of what's in it. So DoorDash, I can't get 3 miles out of town, but they have no other option. So yes, SpaceX is essentially a huge DoorDash / Uber. So that's pretty cool. I'm waiting for SpaceX's feed to come up. Oh, SpaceX is up. Beautiful. So this is the International Space Station for anybody who's never seen it. This is your docking ports right in here. And there's one here. There's one here. This illustration shows different spacecraft at different docking ports. And there's one from the other direction. So there's plenty of ports. There are astronauts on board right now. So I believe this is a priority port. So CRS could come into this one, but they have it planned out far in advance. So they'll get here, they'll unload it, and then put it there. How many Chinese astronauts could you squeeze in the Dragon? Hell, probably 15. Realistically, it's a good sized capsule. So very roomy and comfortable. So let's actually go to SpaceX's feed and catch up with that.
Payloads to their final destination.
So this is going to be our first stage.
Today marks SpaceX's 38th launch.
Come on, SpaceX.
4th Dragon flight in 2023 and 237th mission overall.
237 missions.
And Dragon were both designed with reflight in mind, and the vehicle hardware is built to support multiple missions with minimal refurbishment. Today's Dragon is flying for its 4th time and also
93.
SpaceX's 20th reuse of the vehicle.
Yeah,
It's
big.
It's big. Stage is flying for its 5th time, and we plan to recover and fly both the vehicle and the spacecraft again in the future. So far, we've reflown 170 first stages, including both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, and we're planning to recover this booster on our drone ship, a Shortfall of Gravitas, which is currently stationed off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic Ocean. And if successful, this will mark the 198th recovery of an orbital-class rocket. Now, as the clock ticks closer to T0, let's head over to NASA's Megan Cruz at Cape Canaveral to talk about today's weather. Megan?
Thank you, Zach, and good morning, everyone. Welcome into Hangar AE at nearby Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
I believe this was demo 2, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll know as soon as they start talking. But
Resilience is ready for the event.
So as you can see, like they're up in the screen portion, but
okay, everyone,
this is pretty roomy.
Good morning, good afternoon,
What's
good
up, buddy?
evening, and welcome on board Crew Dragon Resilience. Victor, Shannon, Suichi, and I are very pleased to welcome you on board as we journey to the International Space Station.
We have an
Currently, we're going to give you just a little bit
80%
of a tour of our home
chance of launch
for
today.
the next few hours as well. And so starting, I'm sitting here in the cockpit or the bridge, if you will. So this is where we are for launch and for landing.
I gotta talk to you
as well as
eventually.
we'll get ready for docking. If you
I'll
take a
probably
quick
just
look here, you can see we've got 3 primary displays that
I'll probably just send you a
displays
DM.
that we use to control resilience. And so we can bring up our procedures, we can bring up maps that show where we are.
Oh, they won't connect to it for I don't know what the actual time is on this orbital track, but it will be quite a while.
Controlling resilience. We also have some backup controls here, buttons, so that if anything should happen to these displays, we still have some of the critical functionality that we can accomplish with.
Yeah, and that's part of the benefit to the Dragon is they can actually remove their suits in 0G in this. So this is what the capsule looks like. Huge and lots of room.
Hello, everyone.
They actually remove their spacesuits once they reach orbit.
About 24 hours ago, we entered resilience through this side hatch.
CRS28, commercial resupply 28.
Open that hatch again until we are safely.
Yeah, it's usually quite a while.
The recovery forces are bringing us aboard the ship and taking us out of the capsule. So when we dock to station, we will actually leave and go into ISS through the forward hatch, which is up here, and it's based on the body axis of the spacecraft. So the nose cone opens forward, and
little rocket man
go into station in that direction. And at this time, I'm going to.
So there's all kinds of room in there, all kinds of room. What's up, Matt? Good to see you, buddy. Okay, so that's a previous mission. Now we'll go back to here.
Being one of 2 dragons joining Crew Dragon Endeavor, people are being packed up with critical science and supplies that will splash down off the coast of Florida for that science to be analyzed back here.
Damn, I gotta get better like this guy. Holy hell. Look at this. So this is where we're launching from, just south of Steve Gosney, and right in the neighborhood of SCAD. And then the drone ship is going to be right off here, off South Carolina, North Carolina area. And this is kind of the direction it will travel. So that's cool. What else did they have? Yeah, nothing else really.
Ongoing investigations already aboard the orbiting lab. This mission will also increase power supply on the station.
What?
Delivering the 3rd set of roll-out solar
That's
arrays,
so cool.
also known as IROSAs. After being installed on upcoming spacewalks, the arrays will roll out into
solar
position,
arrays.
boosting
Okay.
power on the station by up to
So that's
30%.
That's how the
Now,
solar
across the
panels work.
country,
They
NASA and our
roll them
partners are
out.
making small steps and giant leaps in preparation for the Artemis II crewed mission around the moon.
What's up,
Let's take a
Fiery?
look at our Artemis Moon Minute.
Scat, as long as he doesn't attack me,
All
I'll
5
visit next
major
time I'm in
structures
town.
of the Space Launch System rocket's core stage have now been fully integrated at the Michoud Assembly
Okay,
Facility
screw you,
in
NASA.
Louisiana.
Like, for
The
real?
engine section is the most
Nobody
complex
likes your-
and intricate part of the core stage that powers the Artemis missions to the moon. RS-25 engine testing is underway at Stennis Space Center near Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. This test is part of a 12-test series that will certify the new design for
So that's called a
crewed
green
Artemis
run
missions.
for the
The
Artemis
engine ran
missions.
for its full planned 720
and-
seconds,
and they
the
just run
longest
it-
duration to date.
Run it the
At
full
Kennedy Space
duration.
Center in
So,
Florida, technicians have been testing the solar array wings for the Artemis II service module. Orion will have 4 solar wings, drawing in 11 kilowatts of power from the sun.
Wow.
Some of the avionics for Artemis 2 have already been to space. Technicians finished cleaning and removing avionics on the Artemis 1
I'm okay
crew
with that
module,
then.
which will be used on the Orion capsule for Artemis 2 in 2024.
Hey, Tweety, I didn't know if I said hi, but hello. Yeah,
Now
they
we are
gotta.
at T-minus 12 minutes and
It's got to
counting
be
from
more
the
efficient
liftoff
and
of the
increase
28th
duty
commercial
cycles. Like they
resupply
gotta
services
get
mission
more
of both
use out of
NASA
them.
and SpaceX to the International Space Station. Let's bring back
Yes,
Zach
more
now to tell
efficient
us
for
more
public
about
uses.
Dragon's
I
flight history.
understand what you're saying.
Zach?
They're just
Thanks, Jasmine.
the technology
For those of you
is
following
is
along,
great.
You'll know that
It
it's
just
already
has
been
to
a
advance.
very busy year
So.
and couple of weeks for Dragon vehicles at the
I
International
know there's all
Space
kinds of
Station.
puffy stuff. Do we see it on the
CRS28
right
marks
side?
SpaceX's 4th
Not
Dragon
enough
mission of
puffy stuff yet, though.
2023, following the launches
We're
of
still a
Crew
little
6,
ways out.
CRS27, and AX2. The Dragon spacecraft supporting today's mission
Hey
will be joining
there.
Crew 6 and Dragon Endeavour, which have been on station since March. Now, in order to make room
Hell
for
yeah, we
AX2
could.
and CRS28 at the Harmony Zenith port on the ISS, the 4 members of Crew 6 underwent a port relocation on May 6th. And put another way, Dragon moved parking spots to make room for the incoming Dragons.
Oh, okay.
A few
So
weeks
they
later,
moved
on
it to
Sunday,
that top
May
port.
21st, Dragon and the crew of AX2 lifted off from historic Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center and arrived at station about 15 and a half hours later. And this is Dragon's fastest launch to docking time for a human spaceflight mission. After 8 days of living and conducting...
We'll go over here real quick. SpaceX is targeting Monday, blah, blah, blah. CRS, we got through that. Instantaneous launch window at 11:47 a.m. Next opportunity is June 7th at 11:01 a.m. Fifth flight of the first stage booster supporting this mission, which was previously launched Crew 5, GPS-3 space vehicle, Inmarsat, and 1 Starlink. Flying stage step, Falcon 9 will land on a short fall of Gravitas drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Fourth flight of this Dragon spacecraft, which previously flew CRS-21, 23, and 25 to the space station. After approximately 18-hour flight, Dragon will autonomously dock with the orbiting laboratory on Tuesday, June 6th at approximately 5:50 a.m. So there's your answer with how long. It's 18 hours to dock. Artemis 2, to my understanding, will be manned, but all right, buddy. Take care. Let me check. I thought yes. So Artemis 2 is going to be manned. Artemis 3 is going to be a SpaceX Starship if they ever get it off the ground. I thought so. I just wanted to be sure before I said anything. So SpaceX launch director. So this is kind of our countdown. We already got the RP1 and LOX loaded. Second stages. We're kind of right here in between this second stage LOX loading begins and Falcon 9 begins pre-launch engine chill. We should see that coming up in about 2 minutes. Then we'll see Dragon transition to internal power. Then our command flight computer to begin final pre-launch. Tanks pressurized, and then we have a bunch of things happen. Go for launch. Ignition sequence, and liftoff. This is kind of our... Oh, you made it a little bit too big this time. So we have launch, ascent, stage separation is normal, flip maneuver, Dragon separation, Dragon goes to the ISS, and then we see a landing, aerodynamic guidance, and a vertical landing on the autonomous drone ship. And this is how it breaks down after. We'll get max Q at 1 minute and 12 seconds. MECO at 2:31. Then we'll start getting into stage separations and different burns. So we'll go through those as they go. This is kind of the burn schedule. So this is that the International Space Station has the keep out spear that I've talked about. This is not the scale at all, but it's 200 kilometers is the keep out spear. To keep people and things far enough away from the International Space Station that cause damage. So then it comes in and parks right outside of this keep out spear, and then they get final approval to come in and dock. So that's kind of how that works. Yeah, sometimes I've seen before where some people, some astronauts have had an opportunity to see launches from space of people that were coming up to replace them. So this is kind of the track. We kind of spin around the Earth, raise up. SpaceX is doing a great job with this now. Orbit activation, phasing burns, approach, proximity, docking. So that's how that's about to go down. All right, so we have started engine chill.
Helium as a pressurant to backfill the propellant tanks as LOX and RP1 are consumed by the Merlin engines during ascent. Helium load began before
this one going to do the flip. This one
until about a minute and a half before launch.
Not.
And about 40 seconds ago,
Maybe.
SpaceX performed the engine chill. That's when the team flowed a small amount of the super chilled liquid oxygen into the engine's turbo pumps.
Artemis 2 isn't Dear Moon, is it? I thought Dear Moon was a...
By doing this, they avoid a thermal shock to the system, ensuring engine startup
Stage 1
goes
fuel
well.
load is complete.
And you heard that call out for stage 1 fuel load complete. Now, Dragon also began its startup sequence at T-minus 35 minutes when it coordinated timing with Falcon 9. The spacecraft is currently undergoing vehicle health checks. It will enter
two
terminal
is
count at
NASA
5 minutes,
astronauts.
with the next
I
big step just a
again
minute
just wanted to
before
be
liftoff, when Dragon will transition.
Clear. Dear Moon crew. So it's a Japanese billionaire, as you said, and then he picked all these different individuals to go with him, including this guy, Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut. He's a YouTuber. Steve Aoki. So just a bunch of people. And this is going to be on a SpaceX Starship, and I think it is. I don't think this is part of the Artemis program. I think this is separate from the. This is a pure commercial flight, separate from the Artemis program. So.
Away from the rocket in preparation for liftoff.
Apparently, I didn't get an invite to Dear Moon.
All parties check.
Oh, it's so awesome. No problem. I love it so much.
Drawback lower has started.
We should see those clamp arms opening in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, I got back to it. Yeah, it flips, but it's not.
Just below the trunk of the vehicle,
it's not going to flip
the Dragon
like Starship did. It's a different flip. It's a reorientation flip. So.
And there you
no, you're totally fine.
Beginning to open around the booster.
Totally fine. I just wanted to
few minutes before T0,
to clarify it for myself more than anything.
Avionics and propulsion systems in preparation for flight. And we may hear callouts that engines are sufficiently
Yeah, you know, if your daddy has it, why the hell not? I know. I'm pissed about it.
Arm should be fully open, and the
complaint department didn't listen.
Going to recline away from the rocket.
I know. I would love to go to space, but
now you may have noticed in
so we're starting to get a strong back retract.
Supporting today's mission is covered in quite a bit of soot, and that is because
it looks like we're still go for launch is far.
GPS-3 Space Vehicle 6, Inmarsat 6 F2, and 1 Starlink mission. And you can see
Hey,
that
no
strong
worries.
back
I mean,
slowly
I
reclining
may be a
away
little
from
slow
the
to it,
vehicle.
but I really,
Locks loaded.
do enjoy talking to people, the people in my chat. You guys are awesome,
This launch will
and
bring about
I appreciate you
7,000
being here.
pounds of
So,
hardware, crew supplies, and science to the space station. One research project will study the effects of space on human DNA. Another will study the effects on plant DNA.
so we're
Findings
looking
from both
good.
could help us advance things here on Earth, but also prepare us for future, farther missions into space. And Dragon will be docked to the space station for about a month before returning home.
All right, we'll see you in a minute.
Now, checkouts of the second stage thrust vector control actuators are now underway. This is often referred to as an engine wiggle test. This is when SpaceX moves the thrust nozzle slightly to make sure the guidance hardware is ready for flight.
Pretty much calibrates the
SpaceX will do the exact same
thrust
test
vector
on the
control.
first stage
So,
engines, but that happens just seconds before ignition.
yep. It still looks clear, Dog Mama, from my perspective and from audio. So I listened to mission control audio behind the scenes, so you guys don't have to listen to all the
Dragon
bullshit.
is also performing its final health checks to make sure all of the vehicle's
but
primary systems are ready
Stage
for its
2 lock
rendezvous
load is
with the
complete.
International Space
It sounds
Station.
like we're still good.
Dragon is
And there's that
auto
call out
idle.
that stage 2 LOX loading is complete. That wraps up propellant loading for both stages of the Falcon 9.
Prop is loaded. Oh, there's the
And as I
puffy
mentioned
stuff.
earlier, you may have seen those white clouds around the vehicle.
Ground gas
Those
closeout.
clouds you see are the chilled gas above
Right,
the
so they
LOX tank
closed
liquid
out.
surface that we vent overboard. And when that gas comes out in contact with the warm Florida air, the air condenses into clouds and water.
Puffy stuff.
Now, Dragon is about to transition into internal power. Also, Falcon 9 computers will then enter startup mode, which is when the Falcon 9 flight computers take control of the countdown, guiding the rocket through the last seconds before liftoff. You should hear a call out about startup shortly.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Falcon 9
Dragon
in
is in
startup.
countdown.
Both
All right.
stages are now pressurizing for launch. At T-minus 45 seconds, we'll hear
Yes.
the SpaceX launch director verify go for launch.
Sean, these launches, it's an
Go for launch.
instantaneous window, so if
There
they
you go.
don't go at
And at launch, the
11:47
International Space
a.m.
Station will be
Eastern,
flying
they don't go.
260 miles
So.
over the North Atlantic,
All right,
south
I'm
of
going to
St.
mute
John's,
and
Newfoundland.
watch, and I'll catch you on the other side.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Go SpaceX, go Falcon 9.
15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff of CRS28. Go Falcon, go Dragon.
Liftoff of about 7,000 pounds of science and cargo, including a new pair of solar arrays to boost power on the space station.
God, that engine crack was so sexy.
At T plus 40 seconds, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from historic Launch Complex 39A
Coming up on
in
Max
Florida.
Q, maximum
And we're
aerodynamic
now coming up
pressures.
on Max Q in about 20 seconds from now. And this is the point of maximum aerodynamic
That's awesome,
pressure
Scott.
that the vehicle will go through during its flight.
I'm so jealous of you.
And there's that call out that Falcon 9 is supersonic, traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
And there you heard the call out for Max Q. Coming up next are 3 events back to back. The first of which is main engine cutoff, or MECO, and this is when all 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage shut down.
Oh, look at that
After
beautiful
those 9
film.
engines shut down, the first and second stages will separate, and this is also called out over the nets as stage separation. From there, the second stage
So
will
again,
ignite
it's
the
called a
Merlin
Falcon
1D
9
engine,
because it has
which drags
9
below Earth
first
orbit
stage
during
Merlin
SES, or
engines.
second engine start.
So
And this whole
Check
sequence
twin
takes about 15 seconds.
that's why you see that big kind of poof or flower almost because there's 9.
Should be expecting that call out for main engine cutoff in about 40 seconds from now.
Tweety, it probably is the most powerful today.
Some amazing views of our Falcon 9 vehicle as it takes our Dragon spacecraft to orbit.
Yes, Kat, that makes sense that they're about a minute behind.
And in just about 10 seconds, we should see that main engine cut off.
So that's a look inside. That's the second stage, or the singular vacuum engine, vacuum optimized engine. There's the MVAC.
MVAC ignition.
And we have good ignition.
And there you heard those call outs you
yes.
probably saw on your screen. Main engine cutoff, followed by stage separation, and then second engine start 1.
So on the left
As I
is
mentioned earlier, we're
the
flying
first stage.
an MVAC
The
nozzle,
right is
a
the
shortened
second
MVAC
stage.
nozzle on our second stage.
So the second stage is the cargo.
If you're just tuning in,
Crew
you're
Dragon,
watching a live
or the
webcast for the
Cargo Dragon,
28th commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station for NASA.
And the second stage.
This is
The first
SpaceX's
stage is what
38th
just
mission
gave
for
it the ride
2023,
there, and
the
that's coming
fourth
back to
Dragon
Earth
flight
to
to
land.
the International Space Station this year. We lifted off from Kennedy Space Center's historic Launch Complex 39A just about 3.5 minutes ago. Now on your screen, on the left side, you can see our Falcon 9 first stage, which is going to descend back towards Earth, and the second stage on the right side of your screen, which is carrying the Dragon spacecraft. Now, as a reminder, today's mission marks the 5th flight for this Falcon 9 booster. Falcon 9 booster, which previously supported the Crew 5, GPS 3 Space Vehicle 6, Inmarsat 6F2, and 1 Starlink mission. In order to make its way back to our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas, the Falcon 9 first stage has 2 more burns to execute. The first is the entry burn, where 3 of the Merlin engines will reignite. This helps slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere.
So these are the different speeds telemetry. If
the
I
entry burn is followed by the landing burn, and this is a single engine burn that brings the vehicle
we're
speed down
almost
rapidly
at
in order to
10,000
land
kilometers
on the
per
drone
hour
ship.
on the Cargo Dragon, at 166 kilometers
Now,
above
occasionally
Earth's
with the
surface.
Falcon 9 first stage on the left side of your
And
screen,
the Falcon
you may
9
see
first
some small
stage
white
is slowing
puffs,
down
and those are nitrogen gas
6,800
bursts that are
kilometers
used
per
for
hour,
attitude control.
and the
You can also
altitude's
see
at
there on your screen
146
a pair
kilometers.
of the hypersonic grid fins. Falcon 9 is equipped with 4 of these grid fins, which are
I'm
comprised
gonna
of
actually-
titanium, and they are positioned near the top.
I'm going to actually mute them for a second. So this shiny aluminum foil looking stuff here. So in space is a vacuum, right? So we have to insulate it and create a chamber that is pressurized like on Earth so we can burn the fuels efficiently. So that is essentially that chamber allowing the pressure to build up for the fuels to mix properly, expand properly, and all that stuff. So it's essentially creating a pressure to allow that to burn to continue to make propulsion. Because if not, it would just dissipate and not be as efficient. So like the curvature, eat it, flat earthers. Well, they'll say, "Oh, it's the camera. Oh, it's the fisheye camera." Lies. Yeah, that's neat. Well, that's kind of what I'm wondering, if they're gonna start, having like a slight delay with launches.
Which is not currently on your screen, has reached apogee and is now beginning its descent.
I don't know if
towards
the
Earth.
China thing would have done it,
The
but
second stage
I'm
is
surprised they
continuing
haven't
to
done
take
it
our Dragon
before.
spacecraft to orbit.
Just for the plain fact of there are people on board, and if somebody not on this one, of course, but if somebody happened to die,
We should
then
see that first stage entry burn begin
would you want to show that
about
on
15 seconds from now
live
on the
television
left side
or
of your
live
screen.
YouTube or whatever? The return, they still say it was a successful landing, but That was really hard, and that was a big fireball. The one that I covered Shenzhou 15 a couple days ago. That was a really big fireball.
Stage 1 entry
The
burn
second
startup.
stage on the right side of your screen. And there's that call out for stage 1 entry burn startup on the left side of your screen. The second stage is continuing to take our Dragon spacecraft to orbit. Now again, the entry burn is the first of two burns that the Falcon 9 booster performs before landing on our drone ship.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And there's that confirmation of stage 1 entry burn shutdown. As we get closer to first stage landing, it's good to note that the Falcon 9 first stage is equipped with 4 landing legs made of state-of-the-art carbon fiber with aluminum honeycomb. These landing legs are placed symmetrically around the base of the rocket and deployed just prior to landing. And if successful, this landing will mark the 198th time that we've recovered a first stage booster, including both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy missions. We are about 25 seconds away from that landing burn beginning.
Stage 1 transonic.
Now, as the rocket descends through the Earth's atmosphere, this really puts deceleration into perspective. In the span of less than a minute, we'll have reduced from twice the speed of a jet all the way down to 0 as the rocket lands. And as Falcon lands, we may also hear a call out that the second engine will shut off around the same time.
Yeah.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Yeah, no, I mean that's interesting. I'll look into that because that's different. I don't know if it's an internet issue. Okay, so we're starting to see the first stage land on the drone ship. Landing deployed, and they still haven't fixed their camera.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Looks beautiful.
And
so,
there you have it. The Falcon 9
they
first
have
stage
it
that supported
down.
today's mission has landed for its 5th time, having previously supported Crew 5, GPS 3, Space Vehicle 6, Inmarsat 6F2, and a Starlink mission. Today's landing also marks the 198th successful landing for an orbital class rocket. You may have also heard confirmation of...
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Acquisition of signal to Finland.
At T plus 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the mission, we are coming up on the last.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't look good. It didn't look good,
we expect
but
to have video of
apparently
Dragon separation from the top of the second stage, which looks into the trunk.
Exactly.
CRS28 will be joining the Crew 6 vehicle currently on orbit, so we'll be back.
Brian,
to
have you never
two
watched any of my shows
at the
ever?
International Space Station.
And 2, have you never talked to me
today
ever?
We will be delivering
yes,
more than
they landed the
pounds of science,
first stage
research,
back on Earth on a drone ship in the ocean off the coast of South Carolina. So they
180,000 pounds of crew and cargo.
90, I would say 95% of them they reland and reuse. That one's been used, I believe, 6 times. So, gets lucky 200. What?
And we should be seeing Dragon separation about a minute and a half from now.
It's incredible to watch, but
as a reminder, this is the 4th flight for this Dragon capsule, having previously
oh yeah, they have it down like it is.
And
they are just right on.
Station.
So
today's flight also marks the 20th reuse of a Dragon vehicle.
I don't want to be anywhere. I mean, like outside of the drone ship would be fine.
16 Draco
but
thrusters on board, each with the capability to deliver.
There could still be a mess up.
There are 4 pairs of 3 thrusters spaced evenly around the capsule, as well as 4 forward bulkhead thrusters underneath the nose cone.
It's so cool. What they're doing is
now,
so
notably,
cool.
Today's Dragon does not have super Draco thrusters, seats, or life support systems, as it's not carrying crew. And this saves on weight and space, and also allows for a faster refurbishment time.
Brian, let me hang on. I'll show you something. Oh, I know.
While initial designs of Dragon
it's Elon Musk that did it. So
outward from the trunk, the cylindrical structure located directly behind the Dragon capsule. The current Dragon has these arrays fixed directly to the trunk. And you may see at some point both a light and a dark side of the trunk, and that dark side is actually those solar panels, while the light side is a radiator to help cool the spacecraft.
Wait a minute. It's literally in my intro, Brian.
And speaking of solar panels, you can see on your screen right now
It's
the
literally
solar panels
in
that
my
we
intro.
will install on the International Space Station. Once the Dragon capsule reaches the ISS, it will be able to
that's cool,
autonomously
buddy.
dock using its navigation
How you
sensors,
been, dude?
centerline camera, and light detection and ranging or LiDAR equipment.
Well, the launches
And
are
there
all
you can
kinds
see
of
on your
different
screen
times.
Dragon separating from the second stage.
That would be
Well,
so cool.
that's going to do it for me
Hang
here
on,
at Hawthorne.
I'm going to play.
The next milestone coming up is the Dragon nose cone opening sequence, which protects the docking ring and navigational sensors. And I'll toss it over to Shaniqua in Houston to talk us through it. Shaniqua?
Shaniqua don't live here no more.
Thanks, Zach. Everything is still going well back here in Mission Control Houston. Right after Dragon separated, it began a series of automatic checkouts, including small firings of the Draco maneuvering thrusters. The next milestone is nose cone deploy. The nose cone protects that docking hardware and rendezvous and tracking elements on top of Dragon during ascent. The nose cone deploy uncovers the 4 forward bulkhead thrusters, which Dragon will use for its major burn maneuvers.
That's what they said. There was a
And
song,
we do have
Shaniqua don't
confirmation
live
that
here no more.
nose cone deploy sequence has begun. Again, major burn
It
maneuvers
was like the
will be
start of the song.
Dragon nose cone deploy uncovers those major hardware. It will also uncover Dragon eyes, that rendezvous and tracking hardware that allows Dragon to know where it is in space and how to find the space station. Once
Okay, she's painful to listen to. 26,991 kilometers per hour. The Dragon, at an altitude of 202 kilometers. And the ISS is about that range, the 200 kilometer range, depending on when. Let me tell you, NASA is woke as hell on the inside. So yeah, probably. I agree. So here you go, Bri. Are you actually watching? No, I missed it. So this is the Falcon Heavy. So the 3 stages. So all 3 stages are going to land simultaneously.
And
this
as you can see on your screen, that re-entry burn for those
2 of them landed on land at LZ1. 1 of them landed in the ocean on a drone ship.
The center core in the upper left of your screen performing its own re-entry burn. You can see the edge of Cape Canaveral in both of the side booster cameras as those are coming in.
So the side boosters were simultaneous. They both left at the
down.
same exact time.
And even
The
though
center core
look very similar, those 2 boosters views, those are actually representing different boosters. And they're heading towards Earth. They're about to begin their landing burns. We'll hopefully be able to bring you nice footage of that.
I'm just going to let it go. This is too much.
The landing lights deploy at the tail end of that landing.
And that landing burn has started.
Both boosters looking to be on track towards their respective landing zones.
Side boosters landing legs have deployed.
And the Falcons have landed.
Oh.
LZ2, both side boosters have touchdown. Moving on to 11
And coming up very shortly, the Center Core will be attempting its landing on the autonomous spaceport drone ship.
So beautiful. And then this will be the main core.
Footage goes out when it approaches the drone ship and the heavy vibrations make it lose signal. Crossing our fingers, that's not the case right now.
Stage 2, nominal parking orbit insertion.
So it looks like that landing is happening at the moment. We have lost signal.
I think actually the center core on that one actually crashed, but the other two are really cool. Damn it. Yeah, okay. So this is the demo. I don't know if this was planned or not, but yep, it missed and it blew up.
Center core landing burn is startup.
Oh, nighttime launches and landings at the Cape are incredible.
We lost the center core.
Oh, it missed. Wow, that is terrible footage from but yeah, just overshot it just a little bit. So hey, it happens. And that's why we practice. There was nothing on that flight. It was just a demo flight. So that's the best time to do it, right? All right. Well, that's so wait, 2 landed correctly and 1 not so much. Yes. It was so close, Bri. 2 landed correctly. So those are the side boosters, and then the core stage did not. They have since landed a core stage successfully. So yeah, they had some issues, but I flew by. Yes, I have. I was flying to Miami and saw a shuttle launch from an aircraft. So no, so there's 3. So there's the 2 booster stages, and then there's I have no idea. There we go. Okay. Yes, I do. Because they wanted to catch it because it might explode. 2 boosters. Oh, sorry, I was messing. Yeah, my StreamYard just completely froze. I do apologize. So there are 2 booster stages and then 1 core stage. So there are three Falcon 9s essentially that go up together. So there's only 3. Yeah, it completely froze up. That was really weird. God, I would go so quick to space. I know that was really weird. That was really weird. Like I couldn't click on anything, couldn't do anything. It still showed live and everything. I just couldn't do anything. No, you're good. I was just scrambling because I didn't know what the hell was going on. Yes, me as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for stopping by and sharing that launch with me. It's always a good time. And special thanks to Brian for this outro music. We'll be back tonight with Chandler Remington for Mark Lutensky. So y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tonight. All right, take care. Bye-bye.